Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and in breaking with tradition, I think today this is going to be my current events video because I'm going to talk about the holiday. I'm going to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and we're going to bring back the coffee chat. So today, just like in the old days except with my robe, got my morning nose strip on, I sleep with these, got my morning coffee. So I'm going to drink coffee instead of hand load ammo. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, which also has a secondary stat and +5 of coffee drinking. And let's talk about Thanksgiving and holidays in general, and making big holidays with big feasts work into a fitness lifestyle. So first of all, I want to wish everyone here a happy Thanksgiving if you happen to celebrate it. Now, when I was in the UK, the reason I did that video a while back, what some people call pecan pie gate, I made the joke on camera because I had people in the UK. I actually had someone ask me in the UK around Thanksgiving when I was talking about it. They actually asked me the most absurd question, and that was, what do you guys celebrate the genocide of the Native Americans? Is that what it's about? And that's really an insane question, because the truth is, Thanksgiving is a tradition started by the first pilgrims who came over, who didn't slaughter Native Americans. In fact, they got along very well with the local Native Americans, traded with them, learned from them. They didn't have a problem there. All right, these people got over here and they were just thankful to have a restart in a new world. They were thankful for the things that they had, and they had a big feast to celebrate it. And that carried over to what we call Thanksgiving today. Thanksgiving is a holiday in which people, no matter what you have, no matter how much or how little, is to sit down with loved ones, with friends and family, and enjoy the moment and be thankful for the people in your life, to be thankful for the family members that you still have with you who are still alive, to be thankful for whatever it is that you have, and to just spend a day saying, you know what, I'm happy to have at least what I have. I'm thankful for it, no matter how much or how little it happens to be. And to do that surrounded by loved ones with good food, that's the entire point of it. And then of course we have Black Friday the next day, where people dogpile each other and fight over things that they want the day after being thankful. But that's unfortunately become a tradition as well. I try to stay out of the stores on Black Friday. So we come to the question of, what do people do with a fitness lifestyle around this? And here's the problem. The problem is that we have so many people in the fitness world with an unhealthy relationship with food. Now, some people are going to go, Jason, don't you sometimes have an unhealthy relationship with food? Guilty as charged. Yes, I do sometimes. But I know that. And I accept that, and I do my best to work around it. It just is what it is. Obesity runs in my family. I gain weight very easily because I have a voracious appetite. I'm also, again, one of those comfort eaters. It just is what it is. It's great when I want to bulk, though. Not so great when I want to get leaner or stay at a certain body fat. So I'm one of those people that actually does need to have a degree of care with what I do on Thanksgiving and other big holidays. Like, it doesn't have to be Thanksgiving, because I get people watching from all around the world. And here's the thing. People need to step back for a moment and try to look at food for what it is. Food is fuel. Food is fuel. And one of the best ways to develop a healthy relationship with food is to learn to embrace cultural traditions and things going on around you. Because I can tell you right now, when you reject cultural traditions and family traditions and things like that, it isn't good for your emotional health. It doesn't give you a sense of belonging. It doesn't give you the things that you need. And so when we see some of these YouTubers who are competitive bodybuilders who are like, I don't eat any of the Thanksgiving food, I take my own baked chicken. Remember Jerry Ward does that and stuff and talked about it. Right? That's not healthy. Now some people are going to say, well, what about bodybuilders who are in contest prep? Well, that's not healthy. This is a fitness channel. We're not talking about people who compete in bodybuilding, because that has nothing to do with health or fitness or athleticism. That's nothing to do with it. But I can tell you this much. The majority of competitive bodybuilders aren't in contest prep year round. There are plenty of you even who do that. The little 1% of my audience who do that, guess what? Odds are you probably aren't in contest prep during any given holiday. So that being said, what I would tell a lot of you skinnier guys, there are better ways to approach this, because I can tell you right now, particularly the younger guys, if you're so worried about your abs that you can't eat a slice of your grandma's whatever dish that she's famous for making, that's everyone loves, that you love, whether it's pecan pie or something else, when she's dead one day, because all of my grandparents are dead, all four of my grandparents have moved on, right? They've passed away. When she's dead one day and you look back, you are going to look back on the fact that you turned away whatever dish she cooked for you with love when she's gone, and you're going to regret it over worried about a few hundred calories over your abs once a year. And the question I'm going to ask you guys, is that really going to be worth it? Is that going to benefit you in the long term? No, it's not. What I would instead suggest is some basic strategies to let you just enjoy the food and enjoy the moment. One of those is to create a bit of an energy deficit ahead of time. Do a really hard training session. Do a hard training session the day before or the morning of. Now, your gym might be closed on these holidays, so that might not be an option. But you can probably do a bunch of chin-ups or whatever at home. You can do some body weight exercises. But the point is, you can create an energy deficit a bit going into it. That gives you wiggle room, freedom to enjoy the food and not think about it, not worry about it. Another thing to consider is you can pick choices early on in your day there that will minimize the amount of excess that you're likely to consume. Most holidays, there's going to be some form of lean protein, and there's probably going to be vegetables of some type, even a veggie tray. Fill yourself up on lean protein and vegetables on your first plate. If you start a feast off with foods that are going to fill you up, that have a very large amount of nutritional value, that are very satiating, you are going to eat less of the extremely calorically dense, hyperpalatable foods, such as the pecan pie and the ice cream and whatever else is there, right? You're going to eat less of it, even if you're a bottomless pit like me, because you're going to fill part of that pit up. Then you're probably going to eat those things slower when you get to them, and you can take the time to just enjoy them, because it might be something you only do a couple times a year, as far as a big holiday feast like that. All right, you go into that, it will actually help you slow it down a bit, and that way just focus on enjoying it. Enjoy each bite that you get, because if you only eat that pecan pie once a year, the fact that you filled up a little bit first with some more satiating, higher nutrition foods, you probably eat it slower. And if you eat it slower, you're going to enjoy it more. Enjoy the time with your friends and family. Enjoy the time with your loved ones. And the other thing is that, think about it in terms of also, don't think in terms of this binge and purge mentality. How many people out there, they do a holiday, what do? They go try to do 5 hours of cardio the next day. Now, I'm not going to get into different people's cardio capacity. You guys know I do a lot of cardio. I do a lot of less cardio. But I don't do it necessarily because I think it's the most amazing fat loss tool. I think it's just great for overall endurance and conditioning, which is what I care about, trying to become more athletic, and that's just one aspect of it. But one of the things I've noted after a big holiday feast, I personally find that my lifts all improve. And what I mean by that is, there have been times where I had a 3-rep max on a deadlift, no matter what it happens to be. Say a 3-rep max. That's usually the most I can pull. I can pull that weight for about 3 reps. Probably can't get a fourth, unless I really grind and form breaks down and it gets dangerous. I've gone and done a holiday feast, whether it was a Thanksgiving or a Christmas, gone to the gym the next morning, put my 3-rep max on the bar after a bit of warm-up and pulled it for 5 reps. See where we're going with this? That holiday can turn into a very, very productive training session the next day. It can turn into a very productive training session. You can use that socially enjoyable, rare event that you do, in which you probably do eat a bit more than your energy needs require. That usually causes some glycogen supercompensation in your muscles. That improves their leverages. You usually get a super recovery and anabolic effect from that, particularly if you've been at maintenance. Calories are lower for weeks going into it, especially people who've been dieting. All right, that one day of feasting, when you go back to the gym the next day, you are probably going to be the strongest you have been in a very long time. In fact, if you're not a really advanced lifter already, you might be the strongest you have ever been in your life. In other words, you might walk in after that day and all that food is digested and processed through. You very well might find, and this is common, that you are now that's the strongest day of your life that you have ever had. You can use that to stimulate some muscle growth. You can use that to stimulate some strength improvement. You can use that to work towards your goals. And here's the beauty of it. If you have been eating a diet that isn't fattening, meaning you're not gaining body fat right now, for whatever reason, maintenance, recomp, cutting, you will not be able to gain a significant amount of body fat off of a single evening or afternoon of overeating. Now, if you start doing it once a week, you can, but it's not going to happen off of a single day like that. It's a chronic habit, and even if you did gain a little bit of fat, it won't be noticeable. What you're going to gain is some water weight. And people who freak out about this stuff, that's what they freak out about, that they gain some water weight. But you're not going to gain like 2 pounds of body fat from one big feast. People need to understand that. Yes, you might have eaten enough calories for that, but you're going to burn most of it off as thermogenic effect. Only the fat that you eat is even going to have any chance of converting to fat. All right, that's it. Now, if you ate 3,000 calories of fat, you're like, well, I might gain a whole pound of fat. In theory, yes, but in practice, you probably won't. Not from the single day. If you carry this feast on for 3 days, then you'd start accumulating over a pound of fat. That would happen. Not off of the one meal. Not going to happen. But what you are going to have is a fantastic workout the next day. So what I'm telling people is unwind a little bit. Unwind a little bit. Be smart about it. Go into it with a decent strategy. Create an energy need for it. Make some smart choices early on in the day so that you will slow down your intake of the other things, all the junk food and stuff, and just enjoy it. And then use it, put it to use as training fuel the next day. Don't come in and try to do huge amounts of cardio and burn it off. Come in and put in some serious numbers in the weight room. On your big lifts, you're going to be stronger. That extra eating day is going to give you performance that is probably going to equal additional muscle gains and additional strength gains. All right? Use it for fuel. Use it to fuel your goals. Be productive with it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.